Greetings,
Hello.
everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
It's a big show, a big episode because we hit 50,000. Was that what, Monday or Tuesday? I don't remember which day, but thank you guys so much. That's like a huge milestone in YouTube land, I think.
Yes.
And
halfway to the silver.
Yeah. And also this is episode 69. We should have did an episode 6-7 for the Pope, but we didn't. It's you probably don't know 6-7. It's all the kids doing it out in the West, but it was episode 69. So nice. I know we announced that Scott would be here today, but due to a scheduling conflict, that is my fault. Please excuse me. My grandfather passed away this weekend and I am completely scatterbrained. Scott will be here on Wednesday, the 24th, and we are also booking Lieutenant Colonel or Colonel Daniel Davis will be with us in the near future. So my apologies, but we're still gonna sit around the table and discuss. So
first
thanks.
of all, the passing of your grandfather.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I last year my grandmother passed, and her funeral coincided with Nasrallah's funeral. And my grandfather's funeral is coinciding with the Ayatollah's funeral. Very weird.
Are you Shia?
I think I might be in a past. My grandfather is part Syrian, very, very small, but
why not?
Why not? Before what? Go ahead.
I have to say, I have to be thankful to your grandparents because you're a byproduct. So we're so thankful for you. And we love you and may their memories be eternal. And we carry on the struggle.
Always. Well, they were Italian, so they know the struggle. Excellent. But we're going to obviously talk about the MOU. We're not censoring you. It's YouTube that's censoring you, not us. So we don't really censor in the chat. People are complaining about censorship. But before we get in, we're obviously going to talk about the MOU, the G7 debacle. I know that we've gotten into the habit of not including or not paying attention to what Trump says anymore. But I think that this today was a wild one, especially on the heels of the MOU. But first, I want to ask your opinion. We're going to do tinfoil hat segment early because it doesn't have to do with MOU, Iran, and all of that stuff. So we're going to get it out of the way early. If I can boomerize and get to where
what are you pulling up?
I'm pulling up Lukashenko. Is it working?
Our man.
Wait, is that working? So tell me, can you hear it?
I cannot hear it.
Why does it do this?
Is it on? Is the audio on your thing? Check the video. Sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, I'll do it through Internet Explorer, and then I don't know why mine doesn't work. Okay.
Where are we at? I think you have to unmute on X.
Can you see it?
Yes. Oh, I see the mute.
Can you hear it?
Good. It's good.
Okay.
Страна, которая обладает колоссальными ресурсами, как, допустим, Россия в конфликте с Украиной, чтобы воевать с...
Do you see the video?
Более что Израиль окружен мусульманским миром. Да, он разнороден, мусульманский мир сегодня. Они не могут договориться, у них нет этого единства. Но кто его знает? Я всегда говорю, что война непредсказуема. Она может развернуть события в таком направлении, которое в мирное время трудно предсказать. Поэтому здесь надо Израилю быть поаккуратнее и поосторожнее. Они уже так в мировом сообществе получили такой рейтинг, что дальше некуда, разбомбив Газу. Даже в историю многие посмотрели. Какой Холокост? Какой может быть Холокост, о котором израильтяне говорили, когда они убили столько людей, и прежде всего женщин и детей. Детей ведь в Газе погибло много. Там вообще все стерли с лица земли. Какой-то курорт собираются на костях людей построить. Это же глупость полная. Поэтому Израилю тоже...
So this clip obviously sent them into a tizzy. So this clip, he just sat down with Al Arabi on Monday, right? He did a whole. Obviously, there's tons of gold in that interview. If you guys want to watch it, obviously he talks about other pertinent issues such as the SMO. He also says, "Well, if I'm the last dictator in Europe, you should consider yourself lucky for meeting the last one. There will never be another." So he says a lot of Lukashenkoisms like that, but that is the one that obviously stuck out. It went viral on the post. And I didn't really even think of it as offending the Jews in that way. I thought of the post as a poignant moment where someone who comes from a country that was ravaged during World War II is saying, like, how can you continue to use the Holocaust to excuse this behavior? What are you talking about? Look at the children, women and children of Gaza. That's the way that I took it. So that's why I posted it. But after that, so that was on Monday that I posted that. So I'm guessing that the interview took place early that morning. And then on Tuesday, this is all in my time. So I'm West Coast United States. So early on Tuesday morning, the Israeli Foreign Ministry said the remarks made by the president of Belarus, a country that knows all too well the horrors of the Holocaust committed on its own soil, in his interview with Al Arabiya are unacceptable and deeply disturbing. Any comparison between the Holocaust of the Jewish people and Israel's just war against terrorism must be unequivocally rejected. Equally appalling is the revival of vile, outdated anti-Semitic conspiracies that should have long been consigned to history. So,
what are the conspiracies?
I don't know. He didn't say anything that was wrong. He didn't even espouse any like revisionism or denial. Okay, so that was yesterday. And then so I didn't even take notice of any of this until this morning when I saw this post shared by someone else, the Israeli MFA post. And then so I looked through the comments on our Lukashenko post, and they're like crazy. Some TikTok, pack your stuff for the last journey, Mr. President. Stuff along those lines. This is the same. Yeah. Yes. The idea, like just Lukashenko, the dictator of Belarus, this will be his last interview. This is Putin's attack dog. Every ruthless dictator will fall. Give me a fucking break. Just stuff like that, right?
Wow.
And so today I woke up to the news that a bus of Belarusian children was targeted by a Ukrainian drone.
One dead.
Also, I want to, I want to make note that thankfully, inshallah, or alhamdulillah, none of the children passed away yet, though some were severely injured, right? I think that the tour, like the chaperone passed away, unfortunately. But the children none of the children were killed, but they were severely injured, a few of them. And Ukraine is denying that they had even drones in that area. Well, that could be untrue, could be true, but what I don't like to make these connections because you avoid being anti-Semitic or you avoid doing conspiracies. But this just feels weird. And I've been paying attention to the SMO for the whole time. So have you. I don't recall, especially Belarusian civilians being targeted like this kind of out in the open. It feels like a message. I don't know. I don't like it. And I don't like I don't even like having my thoughts go this way. But what do you think?
Well, listen, remember what Zelensky said. He wants Ukraine to be the second Israel. Remember? He said that. I didn't say it. He said it. And it's not anti-Semitic. It's from his mouth. So we know that they targeted 18 girls and 3 boys in Starobelsk. I went there. We reported on it. DD Geopolitics was there on the ground as it was still burning. We were there. And then this happens. And the Russian Foreign Ministry says this Ukrainian regime cannot stop targeting children. And let's be honest, we've been talking about this for well over a year plus, that Ukrainians, that euphemism that we use with Andrei Afanasyev and things like that, it's not far from the truth. And actually, when I heard this, the first thing that came to my mind was another sacrifice of the Epstein class. Really? Like it's like that's just where the mind goes now. All I can think about is the fact that they are deliberately targeting children. Okay, if there was a tank next to the bus, I could understand. Maybe it missed, maybe a couple meters here or there. But this was a bus full of kids going to an event. I think they were a sporting event, right? I think they were athletes or on some outing. I mean, this is sick. This is sick stuff. I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going to be with you on that. I think that this was deliberate targeting of these kids.
I do too, and I don't like. Again, I just don't like to think that that sort of evil exists in the world. But after the targeting of Minette, like we've always said, there's some deliverance to the stuff that's going on in Russia, the terrorist attacks, the civilians being killed. But it was after Mineb, and I saw the reactions by Americans, even regular Americans, the media. It was very much like one person, I don't even know if I'm going to get a strike for this, but Andrew Wilson said that it was good that those children were killed because they were saved from a future of sexual abuse at the hands of pedophiles.
Correct.
Which is incredible. I mean, I'm a yoga instructor. I don't even think I could bend that way. That's some mental gymnastics, Olympic level mental gymnastics. Like I was like, wow. But after that, and there was another couple people that I think they're, you know, those realists who are very American imperialists, and they were like, no, we killed them because they're IRGC kids and we needed to send. So some people were actually admitting it. And I was like, okay, we're getting to the place where we're admitting it. And I'm 2 days after he makes a statement where we think is innocuous, but throws everybody into a tizzy and the Zionist side. And 2 days later, a bus of children is hit. It's too much it's too in your face.
Absolutely. It's too in your face. And I think it's deeply, deeply disturbing.
It is. And that's why I was like, I don't even know if I want to like sort of bring this up.
I saw the news when I saw the news today or yesterday. I think it was yesterday when the news broke, or early this morning. I'm trying to remember because the days kind of meld together these days. But immediately the Russian Foreign Ministry commented on it, and I saw all the channels. And once again, it was another. I mean, Star of Bells just happened, and then this happens. You know, I've said it all along. This is a sign of desperation of the Ukrainian regime. Like they know they can't defeat Russia militarily. And now they're just going for the lowest hanging fruit, so to speak. They're just killing civilians and they're killing kids. And they want to put pressure. They want to put pressure on like the pro-peace or anti-war movement. They want to foment internal discord in Russia. They really do.
What if it wasn't a Ukrainian drone?
Oh, if it was hypothetically, let's do a hypothetical. If it was an Israeli drone, it's very far from home.
Azerbaijan.
Still very far from home. And a drone that big would have carried a bigger punch than that. Because one person killed, 8 or so injured, that bus would have been gone.
Oh, it was like a baby FPV?
Yeah, it was a much smaller drone, much smaller warhead. That's when I saw the images. The bus didn't even look fully charred.
Well, yeah, when I heard that only one person passed, unfortunately, and thankfully only the children were injured, I was like, it must have been quite a small drone.
But don't forget, there are former IDF soldiers in the Ukrainian military.
True.
So
True.
It's not out of the ordinary where somebody gets a text message, hey, target something, Belarusian kids, something. And here, we got intel that these kids are going over there.
I actually wrote an article. It was called From Gaza to Donbass. That, especially between the militaries, that's pretty much, there's no border really existent. So that's a really good point. I didn't even think of that. That, you know, these, or even just regular, dare I say it, Ukrainian Jews that are just.
You never know.
You never,
could even be an Azov guy who's getting paid. It could be an agent.
Seriously, it could be anything. Yeah.
Mossad says, "Hey, we got
That's
this."
That's a really good point. There's so many other people in that military. Like we could say it's a Ukrainian drone, but who the hell knows who the operator is?
Yeah, the operator could be somebody who's just hired by
vendetta, yeah. That's a
that
really
military
good point.
infiltrated big time. Not
Really
to mention, the Israelis helped to arm the Ukrainian regime.
Exactly. Yeah, and if you guys want to read it, From Gaza to Donbass is probably the best article I've ever read. I think it's the best article I've ever read because I didn't even know half the stuff of how they're so well connected, especially through the military.
Where do all the corrupt Ukrainians go?
To Israel.
Okay, there it is. There's the answer. You know, doesn't have to be the Israelis themselves. They just have their people down on the ground too. You know, they just activate their units. Yeah, that's the sick
Absolutely.
part. That's the sick part. Just like the Americans had the biolabs.
Well, I was just about to bring that up. You know, Tulsi dropped that bomb before she kind of left. I think we mentioned it on our last episode. And, you know, people like whatever, they did their mental gymnastics over that. We know that all of that to be true. The new Hasbara, that I like to observe the Hasbara trends. And I was talking to the producer, by the way, it's the producer's birthday. So everybody say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And so I was talking to the producer the other day, and I went into a space to listen to our viewers will know Matt Tardio. You probably know him, the guy that was proud of killing Iraqi children. Awful man who was beaten by his wife, by the way, and cried on screen. You know, karma is a thing, or what goes around comes around. But regardless, I go and I follow people like him into spaces because they get their talking points handed to them. And I want to know what the messaging is. The other day he was talking about really pushing the Russians stealing children. It was this is the new thing. They're going, not new, but they're going back to that narrative of Russians stealing children. And you know how with the Israeli propagandists, because he is an Israeli propagandist, he works for the GHF, he's affiliated with those guys. They always are doing projection or getting ahead of something.
Yeah,
so
for sure they are.
I'm like, why are you all of a sudden talking about the Ukrainian children while Ukraine is killing children?
Exactly.
So I don't know, man. This is all very like harrowing and very dark.
I gotta send. So I was on Zvezda. I don't know if everybody saw the episode clip that I was on. We posted it on my X and on DD Geopolitics. We are going to have some media here. There was so I was at this. I was doing Zvezda's program about 2 hours, and there were 2 clips that went kind of viral in these parts. But I asked them to kind of, you know, I wanted to get them because I want them to be part of our conversation today. And one of them, I think, is going to become a meme for DD Geopolitics in its own right. Okay. Because we started the conspiracy segment, so we have to have this clip, which is also conspiracy oriented. We'll wait for the producer to put them on. But I wanted to bring up, what do you make of Larry Loomer's meltdown over the fact that Tulsi Gabbard is supposedly recycling Russian information about the biolabs?
We have to approach, like, I don't really, I look at things, especially with these kind of influencers and propagandists, because they show you trends if you read them right. What is she telling us? The Zionists are going to start going after the Russians, period. They're going to utilize Russia as this sort of scapegoat. That's really interesting to me. Is Trump getting too close to Russia? Are the Jews or Zionists just not, are they all anti-Russia? I don't know. It's very, very intriguing that she's sort of resorting to this. They do it with Tucker and Candace too. And she's another one who, I mean, she obviously has her own thoughts, maybe too many, but she does get her talking points and parameters handed to her. So I'm not really sure what to make of this, but she's not the only one doing it. All of the Hasbarists, even the Spaces hosts, are pushing a very strong anti-Russian narrative. It's very, very interesting coming out of the Israeli kind of the talking points. Yeah,
it is. Now, listen, we together, before we get into the biolab thing that I have, you and I together have started the tinfoil hat moment that we have. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is on Russian national TV. Get it. In the Western media, we're all conspiracy theorists. No. So there we go.
Anybody telling the truth is a conspiracy theorist. We're gonna
that's our new meme. That's our new meme. In the Western media, we're all conspiracy theorists, you know, and they were like, that head nod was just. So this is what I said about the biolabs because nobody brought it up. And then I had to address it on national TV. about the
Подумайте
deeper meaning.
о более глубоком значении.
The United States was
США
working with
работали
Ukraine
с Украиной
on biological agents,
над
bacteria,
биологическими агентами, над
viruses,
бактериями и вирусами.
under the heading of weapons of mass destruction.
То есть при разработке
There's nuclear
оружия
There's chemical.
массового поражения, какие они
and
бывают?
there's biological.
Биологические, ядерные
The United
и
States was
химические.
working on
США
weapons of
работала
mass
над
destruction
оружием, над созданием оружия массового
against
поражения
Russia on the
против
territory of
России
Ukraine.
на территории Украины.
This is like Cuban Missile
Это
Crisis
как кубинский
in the
кризис.
same category.
Это в той же самой категории.
And this is another reason
И
why
это еще одна
Russia
причина, почему Россия
it was necessary for Russia to intervene.
вынуждена была вмешаться.
There you go. I had to say it.
Thank you.
I had to say it.
Stop doing business with these people. Stop negotiating with these people. Stop doing business with these people. They're only moving the biolabs to Argentina
I know. I know.
or down there in Honduras and all those areas. So stop. Just stop. I'm so glad that you got a chance to talk about. And what was the reaction? Kind of like, yeah.
Listen, the reaction, everybody was like, damn, I mean, he can say it. He's the American journalist, you know? But I just break through all the barriers because everyone's like, oh, we're negotiating. Oh,
Right. And you're like, well, I can say whatever I want.
I'm like, fuck them. I don't give a shit.
Right. I can't even go home. Fuck
I
them.
don't give a damn. I'm here because I'm on the no-fly list. So I can say it. That damn Trump, you know?
Well,
But
I
yes,
yeah.
it's necessary. It's necessary, you know?
That's so true. Well, I mean, and now I guess we should segue over to what everybody wants to talk about, which is the MOU and Israel and this insanity that's sort of happening at the G7 or unfolding at the G7, which, you know what, I think we're going to have a space later to actually listen to Trump's speech in its entirety. I pretty much stopped listening to his statements for the most part, but this one, I really think people should listen to. But first, I want to start with maybe another. This is for the conspiracy-minded people too, as well. But this all happened this week.
Without the United States, there would be no Israel.
Wait a minute.
Without Israel, without the Jewish Foundation, there would not be an America. We owe our very existence to what happened in this land.
Wait a second. In the Western media, we're all conspiracy theorists.
Ну,
Да.
Will Mike Huckabee get fired? Who knows? Oh, that was the same day, not just this week. Same day.
The same
Same
day.
day.
They don't think that we pay attention. They're like, these idiots. It's like, Roman times. They just need bread circus and they don't even pay attention. They don't listen to. We are paying attention. I'm taking careful notes.
It's insane. And it's like, they're both kind of right, I guess, if you ask me. I mean, the United States was built on a sort of Judaized Christian foundation. And nowadays, I guess you could say that America or Israel wouldn't be here if it weren't for America, because they wouldn't be able to exact all of these genocides and destruction across the region, and they would be fucking around and finding out right now. But so I guess maybe they're both right. Who the hell knows? All right, guys, let's get into this MOU.
MOU. By the way, how many versions of the MOU have we seen?
I don't even know. I stopped. I got the one version leaked by Barack Ravid. And I said, you know what? There's two options. And I posted it like this on the channel and on the Twitter. And I said, you know what? There's two options here. Either he's telling the truth, which means that it's a win for Iran, or he's not telling the truth and he's putting out bullshit to try to get the United States to correct it, therefore revealing the MOU unintentionally. And I said, either way, we're in really good shape. So I'll just wait until the MOU comes out or until I receive something else. So,
Yep.
And the producer just informed me that Tasneem just posted their version. So we've got Axios, Bloomberg, Financial Times, Tasneem, And I just informed the producer that Ben Shapiro is on Fox News freaking out about the MOU. So there might be another version on there. So we're going to go with the version of Bloomberg and Financial Times. Financial Times claims that this came from the White House, but there is no official release of this because it's just an agreement. It's not, MOU is just a letter. It's nothing. Okay. So let's try to go through these point by point. And Chris, please tell us your interpretations of these. So immediate permanent end to military operations on all fronts, including Lebanon. No future war or military action against each other. No threat or use of force. Lebanon's territorial integrity and sovereignty guaranteed.
Already broken. Already broken. Israeli media, Israeli politicians, Israeli defense officials have already said we're not moving and withdrawing an inch. In fact, we're going to continue.
Exactly.
We're going to continue. By the way, I think it was Smotrich today who said that read the Bible. All of this was in the prophets. This was our land before, and it will be again. And I was like, these people are fucking crazy.
Yeah, we say it all the time. They're using the Bible as a script. So they can just say, look at here, Christians, it's all happening.
But they are, I'm just, you got to wonder. Okay, so that point one, when they put that in there, you got to wonder who's, the tail wagging the dog. Like, first of all, this is going to show, I think, where this is headed in terms of U.S.-Israel relationship. But also it could just be that the U.S. knows this isn't going to last. And they're just buying time for the market and for rearming. A lot of people I talked to said it's just a rearming period.
Yeah, that's my thoughts too.
It's a period to kind of, bolster defenses, get everything. Come on, guys, couple months, we can get some more Patriots built. Because if you think about it, the U.S. has an advantage here in that when no missiles hit its infrastructure or defense capabilities. So it could repair in this amount of time. I don't know. I'm worried because Lebanon is stated there, right? You saw Lebanon,
but it doesn't say Gaza.
Integrity.
It doesn't say anything about their territorial integrity.
It's already crossed.
Okay. Point 2. Both sides respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity and pledge non-interference in internal affairs. How can you get the United States to promise not to involve itself in the internal affairs of Iran when the place is crawling with CIA and Mossad, and the Mossad just promised to commence more operations inside of Iran?
Not only that, but if you want to have non-interference, then get rid of the Reza Pahlavi, the son, and stop supporting the Mujahideen al-Halq in Albania.
Oh, yeah, that counts.
Of course it counts.
What's 3? Commitment to a final deal within 60 days, extendable by mutual consent. So this 60 days could be extended indefinitely. U.S. starts removing the naval blockade immediately. Needs to be fully lifted within 30 days. Traffic restored to pre-war levels. U.S. troops withdraw from Iran's proximity within 30 days of the deal. That is literally if the proximity includes the entirety of MENA, Middle East, at least West Asia, that Iran has won this war. Period.
Sure. For sure. No doubt about it. But also pre-war levels, Iran can't control that because a lot of shipping companies are still nervous. They're like, we've seen this act before. We've been down this road before. They don't want to lose. I mean, listen, we're talking about hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars at stake for some of these corporations, life or death for some of their enterprises. They are being extremely cautious. In fact, so much so that Trump is now coaxing and trying to push Iranians to move faster about this. And they're like, well, we can't control it. They're not moving. It's like a queue building up.
I heard a rumor that, and I'm not an oil or economics person, but I heard a rumor that like July 1st, like everything is like it's going to hit the fan. If we only have like reserves up until then or something like that, like we're just kind of pretending that things are okay. But I heard of something about July 1st being some sort of like doomsday, but I can't verify that. Okay. Iran guarantees free passage for commercial shipping through the Gulf Sea of Oman route for 60 days. Full traffic resumes within 30 days pending demining. Hormuz administration to be discussed with Oman and other Gulf states. So it just says free passage. And then it says that they're free to discuss that sort of toll or administrative system with Oman and the Gulf states after.
A maintenance fee.
Right.
And environmental surcharge.
Today, Trump said that they can. He said that common sense, they said, what will prevent Iran from collecting tolls on the strait? And he said, common sense better prevent it or bombs are going to drop. So that might be another one of those sticking points. I don't know.
I don't know if he's saying it specifically in reference to the idea of a toll, because clearly everyone, I think, has acknowledged more or less that there is going to be a fee structure.
Sure. And there should be. And I just want to let you guys know this MOU that we're reading right now was read to the press from the White House at G7. So this is a transcription of that. So then when they say the White House released this, it was a verbal statement. The $300 billion reconstruction and economic development plan for Iran as part of the final deal. All required licenses and waivers granted. All sanctions terminated with the UN Security Council resolution, IAEA board resolutions, and unilateral U.S. primary secondary sanctions on an agreed schedule under the final deal. So sanctions removal and $300 billion reconstruction fee. They said it was rumored that half of that has already been raised. I'm not really sure. How can they raise all these billions of dollars when the freaking Board of Peace is out of money? I don't trust any of it.
Wait a second. All this money, is this a loan? Is this like a grant? What kind of fund is this? Is this the Kushners and Witkoffs going in and building new buildings? Like, what is this? I don't know what this looks like.
I don't like it.
If it's a slush fund of $300 billion, I'm very happy. Iran deserves.
You know that they're not just going to give Iran $300 billion. They're going to say we have control.
Obama administration gave a couple billion, and Trump went into free fall.
Yeah, they're going to say we control all this. It'll be in Qatari accounts or something ridiculous.
Like last time, and then they can block it.
For the 80th time in the last 2 decades, Iran will reaffirm it will not pursue a nuclear weapon. So we've got the JCPOA again. Pending the final deal, the status quo holds. Iran keeps its current nuclear program as is. The U.S. adds no new sanctions and no additional regional troop deployments. Did we just replace the Taliban with Taliban? Did we just replace the JCPOA with the JCPOA?
Well, with more concessions to Iran.
Yeah.
So.
Upon signing, the U.S. issues waivers for export of Iranian crude oil, petroleum products, and derivatives, plus related banking, insurance, and transport services. So Iran's pretty much back in business for at least the interim.
Business is good.
I don't like this either. This feels like, yeah, okay, we'll let you go pretend that you're like, I don't know. I just feel like Iran could start being like business as usual, and then I don't know. I don't trust the United States at all.
Nobody trusts them. Nobody trusts it.
U.S. makes Iran's frozen restricted funds fully available once the MOU is implemented. Release procedures to be agreed during negotiations. An monitoring mechanism is established to oversee the implementation of the MOU. The final deal negotiations begin once implementation starts on points 1, 4, 5, 10, and 11, and continues as long as those hold. And the final deal will be endorsed by a UN Security Council resolution. So, and thankfully, the producer did this. He put the Tasnim version on its own list. We could see what is different.
Oh my God! Look at this. Immediate permanent end to military operations on all fronts. Okay, that's no future war. Yep. Lebanon's final deal affirms a permanent end to the war. Okay. Both sides commit to respect each other. Okay, that's the same.
It looks to be quite the same.
U.S. begins lifting naval block. Yes. U.S. troops withdraw from Iran's vicinity within 30 days of the final deal. Iran arranges free passage for commercial shipping through the Gulf, Oman route for 60 days. Full traffic resumes. Hormuz's future administration negotiated with Oman per international law with input from other Gulf states. Input. The other one said with. This one says with input. So that means that it's a lesser role for the Gulf states. The other one means like the Gulf is going to have a seat at the table. No. You can just have some input.
Also, number 5, it says Iran will make arrangements for safe passage with no charge for 60 days only.
Only, correct. Only.
And then in the American version, the word only is absent. So that's like the American version is much more vague. Article 6, $300 billion reconstruction fund. Iran says the implementation mechanism for the $300 billion reconstruction fund will be finished within 60 days as part of the final deal. And the United States puts as part of the final deal after 60 days. These are two opposite things. Article 8, nuclear enrichment framework. Enrichment and Iran's nuclear needs will be discussed within a satisfactory framework to be agreed in the final deal. The United States put simply a framework. The word satisfactory is absent. So those are the notable differences that our admin, Gregor over at Telegram, he noticed off the bat. So interesting things in language. The United States might be softening the language a little bit. So when the Israelis get a hold of the MOU, they don't flip out so insanely. The same could go for Tasnim giving it to the Iranians, but go ahead.
I heard that Trump, there was a news thing that we posted today that the Israelis got the MOU at the time. Is that true? Is that just like
that's what Trump says. Trump says they asked for it and I gave it to them.
So why would they then make a big fuss unless it's part of this 5D chess 4D chess psyop? Like, well, we didn't know, but actually we know.
I don't know. I don't trust it. I'm kind of monitoring the situation inside of Iran. Talked to Uncle Haz this morning. I don't want to give away anything about what he was planning on, but there are domestic flights inside that he was planning on traveling, but I don't want to say where to and where from and all of that because I don't know. But the domestic flights inside the country were being canceled, and then I looked on Flight Radar, and the whole entire airspace was cleared. He said he kind of felt a vibe, but again, people in Iran are obviously on edge and very excitable. So you're probably feeling vibes everywhere. So, but I don't know. He just they're all just pretty much under the thought that it could happen any minute, that the ceasefire will break and everything will just go to hell.
Well, listen, Israel has not respected the agreement vis-a-vis Lebanon. And Iran has already affirmed that Lebanon is a critical part. And by the way, I was pretty surprised that some people on social media, including some people who are friendly to us, were castigating Iran for not including Gaza. Gaza was included in the original Pakistan one, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Not included here, but it did say, if we can pull it back up, it did say on all fronts, right? On all fronts, including Lebanon. All fronts also means Gaza. That's how I would read it.
It worries me because the Americans don't view Gaza as its own entity.
Right. So that's true. That's true.
So do they consider that its own front?
I mean, Iran considers
Does this mean Israel has to end the 8th front war on us, on our brains?
I hope that means that they don't buy TikTok anymore, or they have to give it up or something like that. But you see, I actually if I'm reading the tea leaves, Aragchi said just within 48 hours that the deal, this memorandum, is made in full understanding of the duplicity and non-compliance with any previous agreement of the United States, and it's in an atmosphere of distrust.
Yes, I think I translated that video. Yeah,
right. So therefore, it could be easily conceivable that the Iranians don't even believe that this is going to hold, and the Americans don't believe that this is going to hold. This is just basically for public consumption or for the markets for the U.S.
Yeah. Well, I wish I would have uploaded the clip. In his G7 speech today, Trump admitted the market manipulation. He said, I say one thing, the markets go up. I say another thing, they go down.
For sure.
And
For
also,
sure.
I want to. This comes after he said this.
Hello, I'm the boss. How are you? Good, thank you.
I'm the boss. If you have to say you're the boss, you're not really the boss.
Why did he do that to a room of Europeans? And they laughed. I hate the Europeans more than I hate him, honestly, because he said so much outlandish shit today at G7 and yesterday that I'm like, nobody turned around and said, what the fuck are you even talking about? The G7 is useless. These Western Europeans are feckless and stupid. I'm mad. And we're all supposed to celebrate that Meloni quit smoking. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
She said she was going to kill people. I'm like, okay, you probably should actually.
Yeah. Why don't you start at the G7? I shouldn't say that, blame my last. But you know what I mean? Like, nobody says anything. That is so appalling. It's not funny. It's not a joke to walk into a room full of European leaders and say, I'm the boss. And he kind of smirked at the end, but he didn't laugh. There's no indication that he was kidding.
What kidding? He doesn't. It's not kidding. He's not kidding.
This is psychotic.
This is where we're at.
Oh, the producer just uploaded a Ben-Gvir clip. We all suffer together.
אני מבהיר באופן חד משמעי. ראש ממשלתנו היקר, התקופה של סבבי הלחימה האינסופיים הסתיימה. לא בעזה, לא בלבנון, לא מול איראן. אני דורש מראש הממשלה לאפשר לחיילי צה"ל להמשיך להגן על עצמם ועל מדינת ישראל. אנחנו חייבים להמשיך להרוס את הבתים בדרום לבנון. חייבים להמשיך להרחיק את התושבים בדרום לבנון. חייבים להמשיך לחסל מחבלי חיזבאללה בלבנון. כל שבר או רחפן, כל טיל, כל ירייה שמשוגרת שנורית לעברנו, אנחנו צריכים להגיב עליה באופן חד משמעי, וכן, גם להגיב בדחיה.
Hezbollah.
It's like you took all the worst parts of French and all the worst parts of Arabic and made a language out of it.
Oh, it's the worst. It's
a terrible language.
It's such an artificial. Like, I'd rather hear them speak Yiddish.
Oh, yeah. At least Yiddish is kind of funny. It has funny words.
Yes.
And they like sing it. Baruch Adonai. But yeah, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop bombing Lebanon.
They're not going to stop.
I had something else to say about. And it's pretty hectic inside of Israel right now. I just posted a post. There's a huge Haredi demonstration, which I really don't care about, but they're going at it. But other than that, there are elections inside of Israel happening. And interestingly, the Israelis are so upset about this MOU. The Likud party has shelved a campaign that they were going to do to show how much that Donald Trump endorsed Likud to try to get them pushed over the edge. Well, they shelved that campaign. Listen to this. Trump went from his high rating to like a negative rating. He did a 46% swing in Israel in one day.
One day.
Because of the MOU. That's how fickle Israelis are.
Iran.
So now he sees up there saying, I should have uploaded the clip as well about him saying, Israel's doing too much in Lebanon. You don't need to bomb a whole block of buildings just because one Hezbollah guy walked in. Then he said, I think that the Syrians would do a better job. Trump is telling the Israelis that I would rather have what we all acknowledge to be a terrorist clean up Hezbollah than you. You are more violent than the Syrian terrorists we put in charge.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he means it that way, but I'm wondering why you think he's kind of going after Israel so hard. It's not where we talked about the kayfabe. Remember last year, it was like in the spring of last year, there was kayfabe, the artificial fighting before they started bombing. But this fighting is actually having some real world consequences. It's affecting the approval ratings. So that means it's going to affect economics. So this isn't really fakery. It seems that Trump is really pissed.
But will that translate into, for example, somebody told me yesterday here, and I was like, I don't believe it at all. Somebody said on this Vezda program that Israel will not get any funding from the US in the next budget. And I'm like, you're out of your mind that the US is not going to give Israel a budget.
Well, the point of the NDAA that we've discussed so much is to hide that budget. So they're getting whatever they want. Oh, here's the Hezbollah clip. Let's look at this.
Appropriate that we release the agreement, and we did send a copy to Israel, by the way. They've been a good partner. Again, I think they could do better with respect to Hezbollah. I'm not saying they shouldn't protect themselves. I'm saying when 2 drones are shot into the desert and drop harmlessly, you don't have to knock down buildings in Beirut. They could behave better. And frankly, they could do a better job. I love them as a partner. They were terrific. But they could do a much better job with Hezbollah. On that, I don't think they're doing well. And I feel very bad for Lebanon. Lebanon's been...
That was today. It was yesterday that he suggested he would let the Syrians do it. I think they went insane over that. But it's interesting that today he's doubling down again and saying you're going too hard. Howard
Lutnick doesn't look too happy in that clip. He's usually the one smiling.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, like usually Howard Lutnick will be like jovial in the background. He does not look happy. So I'm wondering, John Kiriakou said that he thinks that the divide is real. Colonel Wilkerson said he thinks the divide is real. And I think that I'm not giving Trump an excuse. I hate Trump. This is not good enough to start distancing yourself at this point in time. You're already on the hook for all of the war crimes. But I do think he is getting a little sick of Netanyahu. I think it's starting to, this is bad for business.
Bad for business, bad for the markets. If that's the case, what happens if Israel doesn't help to hold up this end of the agreement? What does the U.S. have in its hands?
I don't know. And, what does Ari Ben Menashe, whether you choose to believe him or not, obviously he's an ex-Mossad guy.
What a guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but he said that if this goes on or if Trump agitates Netanyahu enough, he'll release the Epstein files in their entirety. So that's another Samson option that they have.
Who released them?
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Really?
Which, I mean, we know the Israelis had the Epstein files, obviously. They were probably piped into them in real time while they were happening. But, we know that they have the full Epstein files. They probably have even more than we have, I would think. And so that's what Ari Ben Menashe said. I posted it on the large account if you guys want to check out the clip. But he does say, he'll release it.
On the show.
Wanted me to try. I'll try. Sure. Why not? Why not? Why not? I also wanted you guys to make a note of, and I'll do more research after the show because I caught it right before we jumped live. We talked about the NDAA Section 224 over and over again. Obviously, it's been drilled into people's minds because they've changed the number. It's not 224 anymore. It is now Section 219. I can't find myself with my own human eyes. I've also ran it through AI to ask them. I can't find any huge differences in terminology or anything. So it really does appear that they changed the number just to try to hide it or get it off the radar. Maybe people will think 224 is gone now. No, it's 219 now.
Uh-oh.
So
that's crazy. They just changed the number thinking that people are so stupid. They're like, oh, we didn't find it. Well, guess it's gone.
Right. And like we said here, the NDAA always passes. So the chances of this not passing are very small. They're just trying to keep you guys quiet.
What's Massey up to these days?
I haven't really looked, honestly. I know. So I haven't really looked. I did look at MTG because MTG was doing an interview about the NDA, and she was also saying like, this will pass. This will pass.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't know what. That's another reason why I think this MOU and all of this stuff and Trump's pushing back. I don't know, Maybe he's trying to get this MOU through before the NDAA goes through with this section in it. Maybe they're sort of racing against one another. Guys, don't forget the NDAA is by Congress. Yeah, we covered that section as well, the intelligence section. We covered that with John Kiriakou if you guys want to go back and watch that episode. But the NDAA is written by Congress. Remember, Benjamin Netanyahu personally thanked Congress. I think it was Massey that revealed that they were coached prior by the Israelis to put that into the NDAA. And so if Congress passes this NDAA, yes, the president cannot veto it. This is not something that he can veto. So that, you know what I mean? So here is where we are. We have to, and we also tried to figure out last night, I was a little late, so I didn't get too much into it, but how would the NDAA, if it were put into effect right now, would they be able to have any effect on the MOU? How intricate are these two? How intricately do these things tie the militaries together and the intelligence sector? Does it tie diplomacy together? Does it, you know what I mean? It's a lot is going on right now. A lot of moving parts. Plus the elections. Apparently Netanyahu went into the courtroom the other day, was screaming about being politically persecuted. It's really like, I think that they're both feeling the heat a lot.
Sarah, hold it. In the Western media, we're all conspiracy theorists.
Ну,
I imagine if this is, I just want to think, now I'm thinking about this. Imagine if this is a setup. You kind of make the framework for the MOU, you slip this in, it goes into law, you then bind the countries, then the Israelis can say, actually, now that we're together, we don't agree with it anymore. You have to negotiate with both of us now.
Right. And the MOU obviously is agreement between the presidents. They can do whatever they want. This is literally just like, we're releasing this letter together. That's not a formal treaty because that has to be placed through Congress. And Congress, who just is integrating the two militaries together, is never going to pass a treaty.
I know, and technically the treaty would have the same value as the Constitution. It's actually it's the supremacy clause. And it will have the effect of the law of the land as a treaty.
We talked about this as well with John Kiriakou. Go check out that episode because apparently you guys didn't watch it. No, I'm just kidding. But we talked about how the NDAA actually pulls the United States further out of NATO in preparation for Turkey. Vezda.
By the way, I read something. I don't know if it's true. I read that Greece, with the support of Israel and Cyprus, is preparing to declare 12 nautical miles in accordance with the law of the sea, UN laws in the Aegean, which will prompt Turkey to take military action. And then it's going to be a combined Greece, Cyprus, Israel, US against Turkey.
Right. That's the point. NATO exists for the United States. So if the United States pulls out of it, like NATO is not a defense treaty for Europe. You guys understand that, right? You're not defending them from anything. NATO has never been invoked to defend anybody except the United States after 9/11, after the Israelis attacked them. So you tell me, what is the point of NATO?
If war, I mean, think about it. If two NATO countries, Greece and Turkey, go to war, who do you think the US is going to side with? And you think the Europeans are going to go into defense of Turkey?
No, never.
I don't think so. Not with the political situation as it is. But it would be an absolute nightmare of a situation if Greece would do that, because Israel will sacrifice Greece and Cyprus like the West sacrifices Ukraine to ensure that Turkey gets in a quagmire, but that the people who are being killed on the ground are Greeks and Cypriots.
100%. What they're doing the same thing with Serbia. They're going to get Serbians involved in a quagmire in the Balkans again. Look at how fired up the Albanians are about the land. Why did they release the news about the island the same week as Israeli week? It's almost like in Tirana. It's almost like they want a huge explosion of violence or of anger.
Well,
it's a strategy of tension.
We know that sectarianism is the name of the game.
Exactly. Putting drone factories in Serbia. Once you have drone factories from Israel, you're an Israeli proxy, bro.
I'm sad to say, but Serbia is building drone factories of Israel in its territory.
And I'm not saying that Serbia is subservient to Israel. I'm saying Serbia is obviously getting business from Israel. Or Serbs are probably, it's good for business. But at the end of the day, the piper always comes back for payment, and you got to pay them. And if you got drone factories in there, Israel will make it so those drone factories either become targets or they're involved in something else, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they look at what's happening in the UK with the drone factories. They caused huge issues inside of the UK because people wouldn't stop vandalizing them, protesting them at them, et cetera, et cetera. They've learned from our excursions into these sort of proxy wars and our style of imperialism, these sort of treaties where we kind of get our proxies like up against the wall, like we did with Ukraine and Russia. And it's over and over again. And I see the writing on the wall too with Greece and Cyprus, and I'm incredibly worried. And the Balkans, I have people, it's funny because the people in the Balkans don't match the governments at all. And so trying to make sense of the thing is very, very difficult. But
let's also not forget that we have still the situation in the Caucasus.
Mm-hmm.
We have Pashinyan.
Pashinyan thinks they're going back to war. He said it when he got elected.
Right. This is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just saying that if anybody thinks we're out of the woods yet, no, we're in that little meadow in between two giant forests.
Yeah. It's like not maybe the eye of the storm. I don't even know if we're that far into this, but I think that even Russia knows this is about to get crazy. You saw the language happen after the frigate issue yesterday with the yacht. And now the British are trying, there's a bus going by. The British are trying to blame Russians for lighting Keir Starmer's house on fire. It's just everything is starting to ramp up. It's all getting more and more irrational, which is scary, but it's also a good sign, I think. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I'm afraid of the militarization of Europe. So just so everybody knows, in a few days, I'll be speaking. I'm not going to give too many details, but I'll be speaking at a very important national summit about the militarization of Europe. And I am going to stress that the remilitarization and rearmament of Germany, the call for a European-wide army, is extremely dangerous when the ruling ideology of Europe is Russophobia. And historical revisionism has now made it chic to claim that Hitler and Stalin were the same and that communism and Nazism were the same. I mean, you can't get any more.
I don't know if it's chic, as if it's just lazy and easy, and that's why they do it.
Well, I know, and that's and the latest thing, I don't know if you know, but the latest thing in academia is that World War II wasn't started by Hitler, but by Stalin.
Oh, I love that. So,
I'm just saying, I was at a conference today at MGIMO at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs School here in Moscow, and I gave a presentation about historical revisionism. And I said that we have to understand that certainly it's true that the battles in 1945 on the battlefield ended, but the battle for the truth, the battle for history continues to this day.
Just begun. I mean, look at this bookshelf, right? Guys, I implore you, read and get your hands on every book you can. They're they're going to stop doing books because it's not cost effective. Everything will be behind PDFs.
Oh my God, that's my biggest fear.
Yep.
I read Fahrenheit 451 as a kid. I started stockpiling books as if they were guns. Like people in America that like to stockpile guns. I mean, okay, I had a lot of them too, but I just stockpiled books. So much so that my family said, your house is a fire hazard now. I'd bring boxes of books from the library, from the library book sale, and my dad would take them out of the house through the back door and kind of put them back on the curb, and then I would bring them back in. It was like a kind of skit. But no, I'm petrified. I'm petrified of this.
Yeah, all this idea that AI will just tell you, AI will find it in the book for you, or it will be in electronic or whatever. It's no.
Listen, Fahrenheit 451 is when you have the big screens around the house and they burn the books. of course, 1984 is the authoritarian sort of, book. And then we also have Brave New World. We are living in a combination of the dystopian literature. So we're getting rid of books. We got the Big Brothers. We've got like genetic engineering and all this kind of stuff and the dream. I'm just saying that it's getting crazy. Not to mention drones. We put an article today. I think it was a Ribar's article that I saw on our on one of the posts, which was basically saying that drones have become the name of the game. I mean, they're like little Terminators. I mean, I just think whenever I think of drones, you can't run away from them. Like you can't hide. They're just gonna.
You're actually, well, yeah, you can't hide from them. You're like, it's actually, it's like you're fucked. If you see the drone, then the drone can see you. You're done. That's it.
Oh, yeah, that's over.
And the United States, I mean, I was in the military when FPVs were becoming a thing. The United States never saw them as like a viable platform. They just left it alone. They thought it was junky because, the United States doesn't want these little buzzy things that don't cost a lot of money. They want the big things that they can use to launder millions of dollars. They don't want a $20,000 piece part drone. So they stayed away from those. And now you see what's happening to these sort of Western militaries. But the problem that I'm seeing now is that it's catching up. Like they're figuring out now, okay, let's learn how to use these FPVs. It's catching up in Ukraine. It's going to catch up in Israel because Hezbollah is wrecking them with FPV drones. So I think that that these militaries are going to start adapting to these things.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that is a really great article. But I think that's all I have for today, I think.
Well, next we're gonna have Sunday. We're gonna have a show. Next Wednesday, we're gonna have Scott on. So things are happening.
It's very, very guys. We'll be around in the spaces talking about the MOUs. Chris will be doing appearances this week. I'll be on Friday on Revolutionary Black Network with Nick Cruz.
Awesome. I will be. I have Russia 1, so I'm gonna be in studio with Russia's biggest channel on Monday. And then there's a couple big, tomorrow night is the Bridge Awards, which I am nominated for a special category with George Galloway.
Oh, is it like bridge, like making a bridge to other, is it like that? Oh, very cool.
Yes. So I'm in, yes, I am a conspiracy theorist. It's true. The best thing, by the way, somebody said I'm a conspiracy theorist. My students, when I first started teaching at Hanover High School, one of the students' parents contacted the school and said, Chris, Mr. Halali said that the John F. Kennedy assassination was a conspiracy. And this is clearly a conspiracy theory. And he should be, there should be consequences for this kind of teaching. So the principal called me into the office. So I said, okay, you feel this way. Wait until tomorrow and I'll bring my evidence. I went home. And of course, because me and books, I have the original government printing of the House Committee on Assassinations, brought that, opened it up to the page in the congressional report on the Kennedy assassination where it said, it was a conspiracy. And I said, this is from Congress, not me, United States Congress. And then the principal was like, ew. When you all say like, oh, we read and we're like, cutesy and like, yeah, that's reading. It's right there in the black and white. But what can I say? I just want to make sure everybody understands. In Western media, we're all conspiracy theorists.
No.
So there it is. So I just want people to get the fact that we're living in strange times. We're living in interesting times. Isn't that the quote that it's just chaos. It's chaos, and here we go.
The best place to ground yourself is in books. I don't know why, but books are so grounding. Like when I'm being flooded with information and I'm like, I can't get a grip of what's going on, I literally just pick up a history book.
Listen,
the reason why the discourse sucks so much lately is because nobody reads books anymore.
Are you reading the Talmud?
I'm still reading History of the Talmud. Yes.
There you go.
And I just ordered some new book. Well, they're not new to me, by E. Michael Jones. So I'll be reading those. But that's about it. Also, I will be rereading.
Have him on the show?
We can, absolutely. He would love to come on. Oh, all right. I will definitely email him. He is one of my favorites.
Bring him on. Let's talk about everything.
Talk about everything. He's a curmudgeon, but he's one of my favorite curmudgeons. All right, I'll email him after that. I love a doobie and a book. Well, guess maybe
I can't do the two. If I got the doobie, I can't do the book. I'm a type of person that can't do it, but like people like my brother can do both, and they're like A++, like Carl Sagan type. If it's me, I'm like in, what is it? Doors of perception, gates of perception. I don't know. I'm like in another realm,
So the history of the Talmud book is not like a conspiracy minded or like opposition book. It's from a Jew wrote it. I like to, when I start to explore topics, I like to start with how like the pro side would talk about it, and then I start digging into what everybody says. You know what I mean? I start with like the generic, this is the line we feed everybody, and then I go into the people that pick that apart, because I don't know, that's just the way that I do it. So right now I'm reading the Jewish history of the Talmud, and I'm only in the Mishnah, so pray for me.
Oh yeah.
Pretty far back, so we'll get there though.
But when are you gonna go to the Mishnah of the Bhagavad Gita?
Oh God, I already read that. I already read the Bhagavad Gita. Come on, I'm a yoga instructor. I'm a yogi.
That's true. Listen, guys, if you're not supporting Iran, you should be supporting Iran. Iran all the way. That's it.
Also, guys, we interviewed Laurent Gaino this morning in Albert's space. I'll probably ask him if I can upload it to our Substack so you guys can have that. And we'll have him on again, and we will continue reading his books. Oh, here come the Greeks. Make sure to read whatever that is.
Whatever. Hold on. I gotta plug. So on YouTube, here, I gotta plug it because he's friends of the show, and I have to do it. But hold on a second. We're gonna pull this up real quick. Hold on. Stay with me. Don't go anywhere. So I had an interview with Dimitrios Liatsos. I'm gonna share this screen real quick here. So I don't know if you can see. So this is on Idiohoros here. So interview in Greek. So I did the whole interview in Greek. So go enjoy it. Go see it. Check it out. It's amazing.
You're everywhere.
It's all about my life and everything. So check it out. Dimitrios is also based in Moscow. Fantastic. Has been here for like almost 40 years.
That's so nice.
Yeah,
I love his studio. I love his setup. That's nice.
Oh, he's great. So definitely check that out too. We're gonna put it. I'm gonna post it on DD Geopolitics. We're gonna put it on the Telegram as well and things so people can go check it out. But he asked me to share it, and enjoy.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. We will see you all on Sunday and then on Wednesday with Scott Horton. Have a blessed Wednesday.
Take care, everyone.